Oh no, I'm stuck in the dryer step galaxy. That's crazy. I'm not Gooner Brained, you're Gooner Brained, and I'm used to you.
I'm not an astronaut.
Hoshi Hoshi Mewtwo! I am Stellatrix coming at you live from a starship near you. Today we will be perceiving how the universe is way bigger than you think by real life lore. Not our typical hee hee ha ha hoo hoo funny video, but I think we can have a grand time having I think we can have a grand time having an existential crisis together. Because if I have to suffer,
so do you.
So strap in, strap on, and let's go perceive.
This is Earth. You live here on this planet somewhere, and everything that you've ever known is located right here.
This is already really xenophobic, considering the fact that I am a neon-droid from a completely different galaxy, let alone Earth, and I currently exist in Earth's orbit. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm done with the cringe VTuber lore drop. Sorry.
But just how small exactly is Earth when compared to the scale of the entire universe?
Who lives in a ball in the middle of nothing?
We can see our nearest cosmic neighbor, the Moon. You may think that the Moon is very close to Earth since it dominates our night skies.
Well,
in reality, the Moon isn't this close to our planet. It's actually about this far away, 384,400 kilometers away from you right now on.
I learned from an Eminem song how far away the moon is. 250,000 miles on a clear night in June. And I'm aiming right at you. Aiming right at you. I don't even remember the name of that song.
Average. You could fit 30 entire Earths in between this distance, and if you somehow were able to drive a car at a constant 100 kilometers per hour speed, it would take you about 160 days to drive the entire distance. Despite this incredible
way faster than I thought it would be.
12 humans have actually set foot here, representing the furthest away that any individual human has ever been away from the Earth. And one of
that is a terrifying thought. One day, humans will be spacefaring. One day.
Humanity's greatest achievements. This is what the Earth would look like from there if you were standing there with them. And if you wanted to communicate with somebody back at home,
horrifying.
It would take a message about 2.5 seconds to travel between you and them, since that's how fast the speed of light can travel at. This is a photo that was taken on Mars, and that tiny dot that you see there is Earth as seen from the Martian surface. On average, Mars is an incredible 225 million kilometers away from Earth.
What is that in freedom units?
As high as 401 million kilometers.
Chat, how far away? How many Big Macs is 401 million kilometers? How many Big Macs is that? A few? Damn, that's really far away.
That means that whenever humanity finally gets around to landing a human on the planet, that person will be 986 times further away from Earth than the astronauts who landed on the moon were. In addition, the time delay for sending a message from Mars back to Earth isn't just 2.5 seconds.
Thank you, Kitty.
It's actually more like 20 minutes each direction, which
At
would
light
render
speed?
instant communication in the event of an emergency impossible. When we zoom out even further away, we can find the Voyager 1 space probe, which is the furthest away man-made object from Earth. It is currently located 138 AUs from the Earth. AU meaning astronomical unit, which is the distance between the Earth and the Sun, which means that Voyager 1 is 138 times further away from us than the Sun is.
Further? Shouldn't that be farther, grammatically speaking? I believe the correct word there would be farther and not further.
I'm not an astronaut.
I just write a lot.
Point on its long voyage, Voyager 1 turned its camera around and took this photograph. It may not look like much at first, but in my opinion, this is the greatest single photograph ever taken in all of human history.
Look at that little guy. Look at him.
This tiny, pale blue dot is Earth, and I don't think that anybody has ever said something as amazing about this as Carl Sagan when he said, "If you look at it, you see a dot. That's here. That's home.
That's everything we've ever known.
On it, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever lived out their lives. The aggregate of all our joys and sufferings. Thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines. Every hunter and every forager. Every hero and coward. Every creator and destroyer of civilizations. Every king and every peasant. Every young couple in love. Every hopeful child. Every mother and every father. every inventor and explorer,
Everything you've ever
every
known.
teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam.
A mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam? That is next level poeticism. What the heck? Bro, that's bars! That's freaking bars!
Voyager 1 is currently traveling at 17 kilometers every single second, but even at that speed, it won't break out of the reach of our solar system for
Not to
another
scale.
30,000 years. Once we go beyond the solar
Oort
system,
cloud.
we arrive in our interstellar neighborhood. Here we shift to the light year unit of measurement, which is the distance that light travels in a full Earth year, or about 9.461 trillion kilometers.
Do you guys have any idea how big a trillion is?
Here is the closest
That's like a lot. A lot.
other star to us other than our sun, but it's still 4.24 light years away from us. To put that into perspective, if it was heading in the right direction, it would still take Voyager 1 over 70,000 years to reach it. In other words, if you drove your car—
Wait a minute! That's great. Chat will never find the G cloud. That's crazy. Not the burp. Oh god, don't keep that in the video! God damn it! I'm gonna krill myself. Okay, well, you may have just heard my burp, but like, I just got a picture of Chacha, your V-mom's real life thighs. So, who among us is the loser and who is the winner?
at 100 kilometers an hour, like in our previous example,
Wildly not to
it
scale.
would take over 6 times longer than the entire age of the universe is just to finally get there, and it wouldn't even exist still when you arrived. When we zoom out even further,
I think that's the thing that messes me up the most about the universe, is that everything that you see from Earth could already be gone, and you just wouldn't even know it. Like, we don't know it. Because the speed of light is actually kind of really not that fast. Somebody far away could still be seeing us as, like, in the dinosaur age, but, like, that's not what's really happening. But, like, what is real? What is reality? Is anything real, actually? This is so cool, dude!
we can see the entire Milky Way galaxy, inside of which Earth is located right here. This yellow
In a hodunk arm, in the backwoods of the Milky Way galaxy. I don't remember the exact quote. I'm making a freaking Douglas Adams reference, but I don't remember the words.
yellow dot is the furthest extent of humanity's radio broadcasts throughout history, which means that any possible aliens who live outside of this range are totally unaware of humanity's presence. It's complete silence outside of this yellow dot as far as we are currently aware, but the entire galaxy spans over 100,000 light years from end to end.
And it's
There
just
are
infinite
over
galaxies
100
out there.
billion stars and over 100 billion planets inside of our galaxy. But you have never seen the full glory of the galaxy at night, because 99% of the stars that you can see with the naked eye are limited to this small, tiny region right here. But even this
Bruh.
massive galaxy is nothing compared to the rest of what's out there. Zooming out even further, and we arrive at the local group of galaxies, a collection of 54
The local
different
group.
galaxies that is
The freaking local group of galaxies, like, they're just gonna, like, go on over to the neighbor and have a galaxy barbecue in the backyard and go to bingo together. The local group of freaking galaxies. Okay.
1 million light years across. But zooming out even further, and we can see the Virgo supercluster, of which the local group here is just a tiny segment of. There are at least 100 other groups of galaxies just like our own local group inside of here, and the distance from one side to the other is a mind-numbing 110 million light years.
I can't even
But
comprehend
even the
how big that
massive
is.
Virgo supercluster is nothing but a quiet and tiny lobe of the Great Laniakea supercluster, an enormous structure that is home to our galaxy as well as 100,000 other galaxies. The distance from one side to the other is 520 million light years, but from even there we can zoom out all the way to the entire observable universe.
It's
and
just
see that
TV
even
static.
the Titanic Laniakea supercluster is just a
The universe exists inside your TV static.
tiny and insignificant
Wait, but,
part
like, it
of
actually does,
everything. This is
That's a
the
thing.
observable universe, and it contains everything that we know of. It is home to at least 2 trillion different and individual galaxies, which together contain more stars than there are grains of sand on the entire Earth.
The auguries of innocence. What is it? To see the world in a grain of sand, and heaven in a wildflower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an hour.
Earth. The distance from Earth to any side of the observable universe is 46.5 billion light years, which means that the entire width is 93 billion light years across. What's perhaps even more interesting, however, is what actually lies beyond the observable universe.
Kitty, you're kind of in the way of my microphone. I mean, you're very cute, but I don't think chat wants to listen to you. I think chat would much rather listen to me. Ma'am.
Universe. Keep in mind that the observable universe is all that we can currently see, and it's entirely
That is what
possible
observable
that the
means.
rest of the universe outside of it is vastly larger and more fantastic than we can possibly ever imagine.
Imagine freaking the universe outside of Earth. And like what we can see is actually so much more cool, and people have like, imagine like a universe out there, a galaxy out there, where everyone actually puts their shopping carts back when they're done using them. Like, how unfathomable is that? That's crazy.
We simply don't know what else is out there because the light from these incredibly distant places has not yet had enough time in the universe's history to reach us yet back on Earth. And the light from some places may never reach us at all. Because some parts of space very far away from Earth are expanding away from
Very
us
not to
faster than the
scale.
speed of light, that means that the light from these places will never, in an infinite amount of time, reach Earth. Meaning that even if
Ever.
humanity is eternal and exists forever, there will still be an unknown number of places in the universe that we will never know about or ever see.
I didn't know that. What the heck? Damn! What the heck? How can you not look at this and just wonder, like, how did this get here? Obviously, lots of people do. That's why we have astrophysicists and religion. But, like, you, the individual, how are there people out there that don't look at this and just wonder, where the heck did all this come from? We better start making faster than light ships ASAP. Really? The only solution is some form of teleportation. Or, you know, wormholes, figuring out how to bend the space-time continuum. What the heck?
What are we meant to do with such a tiny wormhole?
So, it is very likely that as unbelievably enormous as it seems, the observable universe is just a tiny slice of what we can currently see of the entire universe. According to the
crazy.
theory of cosmic inflation that was proposed by Dr. Alan Guth, if it is
Cosmic
assumed
inflation.
that cosmic inflation
Oh god. I can imagine the Rule 34 of some big titty goth space mommy inflating. I really am Gooner freaking used to the Gooners. I'm not Gooner brained, you're Gooner brained, and I'm used to you.
began at 10 to the negative 37th of a second after the Big Bang, and with the assumption that the size of the universe before inflation began was equal to its age times the speed of light, then this would seem to suggest that at the present day, the entire universe is 150 sextillion times larger than the observable universe. That number, for reference, looks
I mean, it makes sense.
like this, with this many zeros. Let this number sink in for just a moment. This would be
69 is a real number too,
that the
chat!
entire observable universe. Everything that you
Oh no, I'm stuck in the dryer step galaxy. That's crazy.
you could see was the size of a light bulb, but then realizing that in reality the entire universe is larger than the former planet of Pluto. Imagine a light bulb in the center of Pluto,
Oh my
but
God.
we inside the light bulb were totally unaware that Pluto existed outside of it, and that's a similar situation to this.
Bro.
We are all so
Bro, I don't ever want to hear anybody ever disrespect my man Pluto ever again. Former planet Pluto.
Pluto had it coming from the beginning.
Put respect on this celestial body's name.
unbelievably small, but you shouldn't worry, because all that means is that there is so much left out there for us to discover together.
And it just ends. That's it. It just ends. Well, that was how the universe is way bigger than you think. I already thought the universe was really big. I didn't expect to think it was even bigger. I learned all about in cosmic inflation and the sextillions, and it was very educational. If you have something that you would like to see me react to, please leave a comment, follow me on Twitch, or come tell me in my Discord. I'd love to see what you have for me. As a reminder, whatever you're going through, we'll get through it together. And I will see you next time, YouTube. Later! Sextillion.